Why should we take care of our cars? Well, because we want comfort knowing that our car won't break down in the middle of the street as we're driving down the freeway. We also want comfort knowing about when our car will start having problems and what we should do to fix them. So here's a few steps that we should take in order to make sure that we have that comfort and security. The first is checking our manuals and making sure we keep up on the routine maintenance. Second would be to maintain the fluids and keep them regularly drained and changed. This helps to keep the pipes clean and clear as well. Some other things we can do is to regularly rotate the tires to make sure that the tread is evenly being worn down, and something else to help the tread to keep it from being worn down in odd places is to make sure that the pressure is at the right level. So let's get started and we'll talk a little bit about some of the steps. The first one, as I mentioned, was checking the manuals. Some things that you want to make sure you do is you want to make sure you save in the manual where it says all the routine maintenance is. It'll give you things like what fluids need to be changed and when would be a good recommendation for them, when different parts of your cars need to be fixed or checked, and it helps to prevent them from breaking down before it becomes a big problem. It also gives different suggestions on whether you can do the items yourself or whether it's best to leave it to the dealer. A lot of the times you can save money by doing things yourself, but some of the items that need to be done should be done with the dealer because they either have the tools, the know-how, or the experience to fix the things that need to be done. And it's just safer that way for them to do it than you to do it and risk breaking or ruining some parts that you can't fix yourself. So if you make sure that you do this, it's really great. Something that's said in the 10 cheap ways for caring for your car is to locate your owner's manual, leaf through it for guidance about the parts you might need or whether the manufacturer recommends that you leave a particular task to the dealer. Like we said, this is just to help make sure that the parts are taken care of in a proper way and that you, who may not be as knowledgeable about these parts as the dealer, don't mess things up. So the next item we want to look at is we want to look at changing the fluids and keeping them regularly changed. Something that comes up from the 74 Tips article, which is 74 Tips to Extend the Life of Your Car. This is found in the Reader's Digest Association. You want to make sure that you ask questions dealing with the station and where your gas is filtered and how it's taken care of. You want to ask whether the gas you buy is filtered at the pump and if the station has a policy about changing the pump filters regularly. So this is a good thing to help keep your gas cleaner and the tank cleaner as well. Keeping the fluids like your oil changes done frequently and all the other fluids like the windshield wiper and the engine coolant and all of that will help to keep it clean and clear in the tank as well as in the pipes. And if you keep those clean, then it runs smoother and you can prolong the life of your car, which is really good because, well, cars are kind of expensive and you don't want to have to be buying a new car every couple of years because it wasn't taken care of properly. So we can keep all the fluids clean and clear and make the car run smoother for longer. Now moving on, the next item is tires. We want to make sure that we keep the air pressure at the right level and rotating the tires frequently. By doing these, we will help to ensure that the tread on the tires is not wearing unevenly and that you don't get bald spots while you still have a spot on your tire that has a lot of tread. And so when I was reading through some different things, I found an article talking about this particular issue and different things that you could do to prevent this. And there's a test that you can do. It's called the penny test. And this is in carecar.com. And what you do is you take the penny and you look at the head. And if you can stick the penny into the tread and see the top of the head on the penny, then you need to rotate the tires or get new tires because the tread is too low and you will possibly have problems with baldness on the tires. So you can fix that. And then some other things dealing with the air pressure, I found out underinflated tires run hotter than properly inflated ones. And so developing an excessive heat that would lead to tire failure or an underinflated tire. This also wears abnormally, and the tread on the outside of the edges of the tire wears faster than the tread on the center of the tire. And this comes from the article of Tires Last Longer by Peter Dupree. And he also was talking about how if you have them overinflated, the temperature changes and the results of the tire tread changes as well. So that's some other things that we want to look at and make sure that you're taking care of your car properly on. Now, going for personal experience, I have personal experience dealing with my own cars. I bought a car when I was 18 from my mother. Previously, the car was owned by another owner, and that owner didn't take care of the car very well and didn't replace the fluids as often as should have, or the parts as well either. And so my mom got the car, and it had several problems, and I was just starting out, so I got the car for really cheap, and it was my first learning car. So with that, I learned how to drive and started going on about my way. And one day when I was driving, my car just kind of stalled and stopped. And when I got the mechanic to look at it, she opened up the engine and realized there looked to be like a whole mocha had spilled all over the engine of my car. That's because the radiator blew and different fluids hadn't been changed regularly. Different stories I've heard from my grandfather, who's a mechanic and a body man growing up. He would always tell me stories of people that hadn't taken care of their cars and hadn't changed their oil and hadn't changed all their fluids. And he's constantly telling me the effects of not taking care of my car. So fortunately for me, I have that and I can go with that and take care of my car in the proper way. And, taking care of your car is really good because, again, in conclusion, it'll give you the security you have of when issues might arise in your car and how you can fix them. If you take care of these issues before they become a huge issue, you save more money, more time, and you have, of course, security, knowing your car won't break down on you. So if you just take some of these few small steps into your daily life and make sure you keep up on your car, you will have a smoother running car that'll last longer as well, and it'll be great. So take this into effect and have a great day.